Well, welcome to the 700 Club. It's been a very busy week for our president. Yesterday, he announced a new aid package for Ukraine at the NATO summit in Washington. He also dodged an attempt by his own party to force him out of the presidential campaign.
Democrats meeting behind closed doors were not on the same page in calling for Biden to drop out. According to one congressman, they were not even in the same book. Dale Hurd has the story.
For the moment, President Biden may have blocked what some call a coup attempt from his own party to remove him as nominee, but all the criticism reveals a lack of confidence among Democrats. The president survived a crucial day after Democrat senators and House members did not announce mass defections after private meetings, but the party is far from unified behind its nominee, as summed up by Congressman Steve Cohen.
Are you all on the same page?
No. What do you mean you're not on the same page? You're not even in the same book.
A seventh House Democrat has called for Biden to drop out, although he did get an endorsement from Senator Chuck Schumer, the majority leader repeating the same line to reporters 3 times.
As I've said before, I'm with Joe.
Democratic leaders had supposedly agreed to stop talking about their discontent with Biden publicly, but that didn't stop Senator Michael Bennet from becoming the first Democratic senator to tell CNN he doesn't believe Biden can beat Donald Trump. And Senator Dick Durbin said it's up to Biden to show he can win.
At this point, I would say to the president, the challenge is to you. Show us in the way you campaign that you can effectively beat Donald Trump.
On the campaign trail, former President Trump was enjoying all the Democrat Party infighting.
The radical left Democrat Party is divided in chaos and having a full-scale breakdown, all because they can't decide which of their candidates is more unfit to be president.
At the NATO summit in Washington Tuesday, Biden announced a new aid package to Ukraine.
The United States, Germany, the Netherlands, Romania, and Italy will provide Ukraine with the equipment for 5 additional strategic air defense systems.
Ukrainian President Zelensky is clearly worried about the impact the 2024 election will have on more aid for his nation.
Americans are waiting for November in Europe, Middle East, in the Pacific. The whole world is looking to autumn, looking to November. And truly speaking, Putin awaits November 2.
Some Democrats are now fearing a Trump landslide, and another stumble by the president is sure to ignite more calls from his own party to step down. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
I predict this will be the dominant headline for the next few months as we prepare for a presidential election. If you're not registered to vote, please get registered and please make sure you vote. This is going to be a crucial election, and we all need to participate. In other news, a top U.S. intelligence official says Iran is fueling anti-Israel protests in America. Gary Lane has that story and more from the CBN Newsroom. Gary?
Thank you, Gordon. The U.S. Director of National Intelligence says Iran is seeking to take advantage of the protests, including giving financial support. Meanwhile, Iranian proxies Hezbollah and Hamas continue to attack Israel. CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl has that story.
The IDF targeted Hezbollah launch sites in Lebanon after the terror group rained 30 to 40 rockets on Israel's Golan Heights, killing 2 civilians as they traveled in their car. The barrage came after an Israeli strike killed Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah's former bodyguard. In Gaza City, the IDF is renewing assaults on areas reoccupied by Hamas and Islamic Jihad terrorists. Israeli troops found these terrorists operating out of schools, a medical clinic, and the Gaza City headquarters of the UN agency UNRWA. On the propaganda front, the director of U.S. National Intelligence warns Iranian agents are using cyber and social media to stoke protests in the U.S. in an effort to divide Americans. Avril Haines writes, these agents are posing as activists online, seeking to encourage protests and even providing financial support to protesters. Josh Reinstein, president of the Israel Allies Foundation, says the Iranian threat is greater to the West than it is to Israel.
Around the world, Iran is also attacking countries in Europe, through different organizations, through funding terrorism in America. They actually tried to assassinate several American leaders like Mike Pompeo and John Bolton.
As it prepares to begin its nominating convention next week, the Republican Party is pledging support for the Jewish state and to hold accountable those who perpetrate violence against the Jewish people, as well as revoking visas of foreign nationals who support terrorism and jihadism. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Here at home, more than 150 million Americans are at risk of extreme heat. Alerts issued from California to Montana. Oregon has reported at least 6 heat-related deaths as temperatures topped 100 degrees 4 days in a row. Las Vegas could see its 5th straight day at 115 degrees or more today. In Texas, where nearly 2 million people are without power, the heat index made it feel like 100 degrees in Houston Tuesday. On the East Coast, Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. could have feels-like temperatures of 110. Well, each year, more than 600,000 children spend time in America's foster care system. A new film called Sound of Hope, the story of Possum Trot, offers a window into their lives. Filmmakers hope the true story will inspire a movement to end our country's foster care crisis. CBN's Ephraim Graham has more.
Bennett Chapel is a small church in a small East Texas town called Possum Trot, with a miracle story now making a splash on the big screen in The Sound of Hope. This story begins with Bishop W.C. and Donna Martin, who began adopting troubled children from the foster care system in the 1990s, and then encouraged members of their church to do the same.
I'm thinking about adopting some kids. Reverend, look, I'm talking to him right now. Just come on over later, I'll fill you in. Bye.
Nika King plays First Lady.
I want people to know when you see me in this film, it's Nika King as the actor, but it's really First Lady Donna Martin.
So First Lady Donna Martin, I imagine you've seen the movie, you've seen her on set. Do you see yourself?
Oh, definitely. It's unexplainable that you take, you see the structure of the both of us, right? But then when I'm looking at this film, I'm going, that is me. That is just me.
Yeah.
Sis, how you do that?
I don't know. God, because I prayed. Believe me, I prayed plenty of nights like, please, God, let me get this right. I don't want to mess this up. Please, God, come use my vessel, use my temple. I knew I had the chops, but there was still something special that needed to come upon me. And I think once we met and we had that Holy Ghost-filled interaction, I was like, okay, now the foundation is laid. Now I can move forward. I turned on the water and he just fell apart.
Demetrius Gross plays Bishop. Demetrius, what are your thoughts upon reading the script?
So you read the script and you're immediately, the first portion of the first page, this is based on a true story. That always drops me in on a different level of commitment to the story. You're blown away, you're captivated, you're gripped, you feel compelled to participate in the superlative of this movie. You feel called, you feel changed when you watch it and when you read it, when you experience it.
Bishop, what's it like seeing your story on screen?
Unbelievable.
But if we can't wrap our arms around the most vulnerable amongst us, then what do we have? Noise! That's what we have. Noise.
I'm a preacher. I'm not an actor, so I don't know how those two connect together. But this is the thing that I see. God was in it, so God connected it together to be what it is.
And what it is a church that united to adopt nearly 80 children and for a time left no child on the town's waiting list in need of adoption.
22 families want to adopt. The whole town wants kids now.
That's about right.
Bishop, what's Bennett Chapel and Possum Trot like today?
Holy Ghost filled. That's the best that I can tell you, because if you come in that church, if you drive on those grounds out there, you're gonna feel the power.
Ephraim Graham, CBN News.
A special friend of CBN has passed away. Joe Bonsall of the popular country and gospel group the Oak Ridge Boys died Tuesday at the age of 76. Bonsall suffered from the neuromuscular disorder ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. In a statement, his family wrote, "Joe loved to sing, he loved to read, he loved to write. But Jesus and his family always came first. And we will see him again on the promised day." CBN founder Pat Robertson was a big fan of the Oak Ridge Boys. They performed at his 93rd birthday celebration in 2023. To cap off the show, Pat called on Bonsall and the boys to deliver a special request.
You want to hear Elvira, sir? Then let's sing Elvira. Yeah. Everybody sing. It's tradition. Elvira. Elvira, my heart's on fire for Elvira. Giddy up, papa, papa, mama. Giddy up, papa, papa, mama. I'll silver and wave, Elvira. Yeah.
Gordon, I must say 50 years ago when I was a radio disc jockey, I got a lot of requests for the Oak Ridge Boys, and at that time, everyone wanted to hear from that new tenor, Joe. He had just joined the group about a year earlier, but they always wanted the gospel songs.
Well, Joe had a life well lived, and he's going to get a very big welcome in heaven. Well done, good and faithful servant. And that 93rd birthday for my father, that wasn't the only time the Oak Ridge Boys performed at his birthday celebrations. My father was a huge fan, so I know Dad had to be at the door waiting for Joe when he came in, and I'm pretty sure he was saying, "Oh, could you tell me giddy up? And together, let's do an Papa Mau Mau." So here's to heaven, where a lot of Papa Mau Maus are going on right now. And Joe, well lived, and to your entire family, my heart goes out to you. And I know you're going to miss him, but that promise that you have that one day you will see him again.